Hello, this is Betty with Betty's Stamping Crazy, and if you saw my last video, you saw where I made these spinner cards. Hope I didn't confuse you too much on those, sorry. I did told you how I did this here, but I didn't show you how to do the technique itself. I did get this technique from Patty Bennett. She has done some fantastic work. I love her. She's another demonstrator for Stampin' Up. So I thought I would go in here and make a card with this and show you how to do this. I have made several. Of course, you saw me cut it out of this one yesterday. And here's the other one that I did. I did do these on shimmery white card, Stampin' Up cardstock. And I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah, you can see it just a little bit on the shimmer, especially right in here. I love this shimmery white for this technique. I have done it in on the paper, the watercolor paper, and I'm not as excited about it. The watercolor paper is good for certain things, but I didn't like it for this. As you can see, I think I had too much water on that one. And yes, you can get too much water. It seems like it soaks in more. This one, it looks funny when you first do it, but once it dries, it comes out really, really pretty. These are the colors that I did these in. I have the color, let's see, this one's Wisteria Wonder, Pool Party, and Flirty Flamingo. I love these colors together. I wish I'd have got a little bit more Pool Party, but every one of them comes out different. This one I made with Marina Mist and Perfect Plum, and I believe I had another color, but I screwed up and came back over it, so it wound up being just the Marina Mist and Perfect Plum, but I still like it. So anyway, we are going to make a card today, and I wanted to show you. Oh yeah, I don't know if I told you the colors on this. It's Berry Burst, Lemon Lime Twist, and Peekaboo Peach. I think I told you on the last video, but not this one. So we're going to go ahead and get some, do one with that technique, and I will show you how it's done. But this time I'm going to be using Bermuda Bay, Calypso Coral, and Daffodil Delight. And this is an experiment with these three colors today. So we're going to start out. Let me open these up, and hopefully I don't put it in the wrong pad again. And I'm going to put them off to the side because I am going to spray them water. Okay, and I used the B block. I believe she used a little bit bigger block on this, but I'm just going to use the B. I like the way it come out. And I have me a little wet, I don't know what you call these things. They're kind of a spongy rag that I'm going to be wiping this on each time. So I'm going to go ahead and spray this. Make sure I get it wet all over, and it's going to bow up. Okay, then I'm going to take my Daffodil Delight, and I'm just going to go across the middle here. I'll come back in with a little bit more, and I'm going to come up a little bit there. Then I'm going to wipe it off, and I think I'm going to use my Calypso Coral on the top. And we're going to come across like that, and then I'm going to come down just a little bit over here. I don't want that edge right there. And it doesn't matter that they mix. And if you get a little bit too dry down here, just spritz just a little bit more. And then I take my fingernail and put it right there and just kind of come up. Ooh, that's pretty. And just kind of mix them. Okay, that's it. You're going to let it dry. Let me close up my... And I'm not going to make you watch me dry this, but I am going to show you what I did. I don't like it the way it pulls here and leaves. So what I did was I picked it up Put it on a paper towel, and that way whatever's pulling, a lot of times it will go ahead and pull it off. It may not get it all, but it will pull most of it off. And I just kind of do like this and get most of it. But I do cut these at 5 1/4 by 4, and then I will cut them down to the next size mat, which is 5 by 3 3/4. And we're going to set this off to the side to dry. It will dry a little bit flatter. And what I'm going to do is bring, whoops, let me clean up my mess here. I don't want to put the old cardstock on there. I'm going to clean this up, and then I'm going to take it off out of the way. And I'm going to put this over here so it doesn't get anything wet. Okay, for the card we're going to make today, I'm not using this one or this one or this one. I'm going to use this one. The one with the Flirty Flamingo, Pool Party, and Wisteria Wonder. And what I did is I took a copper butterfly. I've already cut it out. And I'm sorry. I'm calling it a butterfly. This is from our Dragonfly Dreams framelits. I believe it is. Let me grab them. Okay. These are our framelits that I cut it out from, and I used this one right here, the smaller Dragonfly. I cut it out of copper foil, and I didn't want to hide too much of this background. I've already cut this down to 5 by 3 3/4. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on, back it with Whisper White, and then I'm going to put it on the Flirty Flamingo cardstock. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to grab, you see the mess on the back, but be sure you put plenty of tape on this. And I'm using my Fast Fuse, and I'm getting to where I really like the Fast Fuse. And try, whoops, didn't check that off right. Try to use, or get, well, try to get as close to the edge as you can without going off, because you do want to get this down good since it's warped paper. And what I'm going to do is come in here and go like this. I know I probably don't need this much, but I'm going to. And like that. And then I'm going to put it on my Whisper White. Oops, I want this at the top. Okay. Ah, come on. Get straight. Let me get my... I should know better than try to do this without these. Hopefully I've got this straight. Probably not, but that's going to be close enough on camera. Okay, now see how it warps that? You want to do the same thing on this to put it down over here. Because this is a thinner white. You could use a thick Whisper White, but this will do just fine. You just need to stick it down. And once you get it stuck down, it's fine. You don't need it all in the middle on this one either. I really like this color combination. Here I go again. Sometimes I can do this and sometimes I can't. I guess it's too early in the morning. Okay, that looks good. Then I'm going to come back in here with my glue, and I'm just going to touch this in a few places down the middle because I don't want the wings down. But I do want him down. Good. Because I'm going to fluff the wings up a little bit, and I'm going to put it right here. I didn't want to hide too much of this background because I really like that. But I did go ahead and stamp because I didn't want to mess with that drying on me. And as most of you know, I use these little strips that are left over from cardstock when I cut it. And usually they wind up being 1 inch, and this is cut at 3 1/8 inch long. And then I used the copper foil again, and I cut this one. I did this up, wrote it upside down. At 5/8 by 3 1/4, because I just barely wanted a background. And what I used to stamp this was the Dragonfly Dreams, because I wanted to stick with the same stamp set and and cutouts. And I'm going to use, oops, I don't have my glue dots over here. Hold on. I used the last of them on the spinner card. Okay. Because I wanted this to stick to this real good. I don't want to mess with glue. And this is a slick surface on this copper foil here. And I'm going to go ahead and use 3. Probably overkill, but make sure it stays. Okay, this is going to be hard to set because it is a very, very close fit. You can make yours a little bit bigger if you wanted to, but I didn't want too much standing out. And I think this is just perfect for this. And I am going to put dimensionals on this. Let me grab those. I'll try not to slam that door and shake the camera. I work on my dining room cabinet. I have, when we redid our kitchen, we knocked half a wall out, and I just made a whole peninsula all the way across from the dining room. And I have cabinets on this side too. And this is where I work. Okay, we're going to put that right down here. And see, that is a very simple card, but is absolutely beautiful. And I want to lift these up just a tad, but not too much. So that they stick up. And of course, like always, you can put the white piece in the inside, which would be, well, either you could do either side's matte with it. But I really like these colors. This is a beautiful color. And I wish you could see the sparkle. I know it doesn't show up quite as much on camera. Let's see if I can get that to sparkle just a little bit for you. But in here, actually the whole card, but in this Flirty Flamingo, oh well, it really sparkles. You'd have to do this yourself. And when you first do these, or when you first wet it down and come across, it may not, you may think, oh my goodness, that looks horrible. But once it dries, I promise you it will look beautiful no matter what colors you use. Now wait a minute, I take that back, because some of them can look a little muddy if you mix them. But just experiment. See what you want to come up with. You never know. And that's what I did with that one a while ago. Let's see how that's coming out so far. Let me put this up here out of the way so it doesn't get hurt. And see how these are mixing together, and it's starting to lay out too. It'll take this a while to dry, but you can use your blow dryer for it. And again, I want to thank Patty. This was really a cool technique. I've seen a lot of watercoloring, and I've been playing around with it a little bit more. But there's so many techniques out there that I thought, it's called smooshing. And I've been wanting to try something like that, but I'm just not sure that some of them I like. They take a plastic and they put water on it, and then put it down on the ink, and then put it down on there. And I haven't gotten the hang of that one yet. But this one was so simple that I loved it, so I decided I had to try it. As I said, the catalog, the new June catalog, is live now. So you might want to take a peek at that, see what you like. The new in colors are fantastic. I am really loving them. I can show you those again. I'll be using them. We have the powder pink. Let me move these over. We have Tranquil Tide. We have Fresh Fig. I'm having to dig these out. I'm sorry, of the stuff that I've done before. So bear with me here. Okay, I got it. Lemon lime twist and berry burst. And I'm gonna try some more with more of these colors, but that's it. That's my card for today. But like I said, try this. It's really fun. And just like I said, I like it better on the shimmery white. So have a go at it. This is Betty with Betty's Stamping Crazy. Thank you.